Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm doing this New Year's makeup look. I firstly want to wish you guys a happy New Year wherever you are. And I hope this year brings a lot of happiness, joy, and keeps us all healthy and safe. So first I'm using this Avant moisturizer to moisturize my face. Then I am going in with my trusty e.l.f. brow pomade, and I'm just gonna fill in my brows. You guys seen me do brows so many times. I just use the same method, and once I am done with my brows, I will always go in and clean them up because I think that gives a lot of definition to the brows. So that's what we are gonna do with this one. I am going to use my e.l.f. camo concealer, and this is a really light shade that I think kind of highlights my brow bone. That's why I use this shade. And so I'm just gonna carve from the bottom and also from the top of my eyebrow, because this way, even if you've made a few mistakes, you can correct them. So after this, I'm just gonna use the same concealer as my eye primer, you could say, yeah, like eyeshadow primer. And I am going to use my Too Faced Major Hangover Primer, just where I have a little pores like on my nose or lip area. Then I'm using this NYX Ultimate palette, and I'm going to use the lightest shade. I just got this palette probably 3 or 4 days back, and I wanted to try this out. I haven't tried this out. This is my first impressions. So at first I'm just going in the lightest shade just as a transition, and I'm gonna put it kind of like on the crease, but at the same time all over the lid as well. I am just blending it until everything is looking nice and blended. Then I am going to use in this dark brownish shade. I am gonna use it mostly in the outer corner of my eyes, and I'm giving like a smoky type of eye look finish, so that's why I'm trying to put more in the outer corner, but I will bring it a little bit to the inner corners of the eyes, like to the middle probably. And I am just gonna blend it with the same brush because I wanted to get this transition shade and the brown shade mixed. And after this, I'm gonna use this really nice pinky kind of shade. I'm gonna mix these two. Yeah, so I'm gonna mix these two shades, and I'm just gonna put them a little bit in the crease. Then I got this Hip Dot palette in my Boxy Charm, and I'm gonna use this kind of warm brown shade from this palette. I didn't really have pretty warm brown in that palette, so I used it from the Hip Dot palette, and the eyeshadows are really good. They blend really beautifully, and also they have a lot of pigment. So here I am just building up the color on my eyeshadows, and then I am going to use my favorite color in the NYX palette, which is this shade. It's kind of like a glitter, I won't say glitter, it's kind of like a shimmer, but it is really pretty. I wanted something shiny, something sparkly for New Year's. That's why I thought I wanted to use this shade, because it looks so pretty in the pan. And once I am done with this, I'm going to use my Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I love this foundation, you guys know it. I'm in the shade Warm Beige, and I'm going to dot it all over my face. Then I'm gonna blend it out with my e.l.f. sponge, and you guys can see the coverage of the foundation, but at the same time it's not cakey. It's really, it's full coverage, but it still gives you a natural finish. That's what I love about this foundation. And I'm gonna use the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. This is in the shade Golden Beige. This shade is a little dark for me to use as my concealer. I really like using light concealer shades just to highlight, but this was one from one of the Boxy Charms, and the shade that I needed was sold out, so I chose the closest possible. But I'm putting it on the usual areas where I like to highlight: under my eyes, on the nose, on the forehead, Cupid's bow, and my chin. And I'm blending everything out, but I am just blending everything out and making sure there are no creases or anything. You can see it kind of gives me a little yellow tone, which is why I am gonna go in with my e.l.f. Camo concealer, the same one that I used to carve out my brows. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of this because I didn't want any of my concealer, foundation, like anything on my face to look cakey or even like feel heavy. Like if I double the concealer, I think it's gonna feel heavy too much, so I put a little bit just to highlight. And now I am blending the concealer underneath my eyes, and I think it did highlight well. Like it's not looking as yellow as it was before, so that's good thing for having like a light shade concealer as well. Now everything is blended in, and I'm going to set everything in place with my e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. I am in the mood of baking today, not like baking, but you know, powder baking. So I'm just gonna bake eye underneath my eyes. I'm also gonna carve out my nose because I think I haven't really done that in a few days. I don't really do makeup much now because I'm not going out. So even now I'm not going out anywhere, but I really wanted to show you guys how I would do my makeup if I was going out. But I think it's even good if I have this makeup and I can celebrate at home with my family. So I'm just using this powder to carve out my cheekbones, carve out my nose, and I'm just gonna make sure that everything is looking nice and snatched. And we are gonna leave this powder for a little bit on the face. One thing that's good about this powder is that there are no like flashbacks. I love that about this powder. Then for the lower lashes, for the lower lash line, I am going to use the same palette, and I'm gonna use the first shade that we used, the lightest shade that is in the palette. I didn't want too much on my on my lower lash line. Now I'm gonna use my favorite lashes from Lashaholic in this style. They are real, I swear, and I love these eyelashes because the lash band is not super thick but not super thin at the same time. It's really good, and the lashes are really wispy, but they don't look too dramatic. So you could even do a natural eye look with those, but you could also do like a smoky eye look. And now I am just going to dust off my bake that I left on the face. So we're gonna remove all of it, and I'm gonna try blending everything in so that we don't look like too white on one part of the face and then, you know, a little weird on the other. So I'm just blending everything, making sure that everything is matching, nice as blended. I didn't want too much powder, that's why I'm trying to like wipe a lot of it. After this, I want to complete my eyes with this Hank and Henry eyeliner that you guys know is my favorite. So I'm done with the eyeliner here. Now I'm going to use this Milk Kush mascara. I actually got it in the birthday something from Sephora, and I wanted to use this. I love the wand of it. I really liked the mascara. Now I'm using my Catrice Sculpt Squat palette, and I'm gonna use those 3 shades. I am gonna do like contour and bronze at the same time. I love this palette for this reason that you could do contouring if you want, you could do bronzing if you want. There's a highlighting powder as well, but I am going to contour and bronze my face at the same time. I didn't really want too much bronzer going on, so I went in with like a little touch of all the 3 shades. And here you can see I am just kind of contouring my jawline as well, and we are gonna put a little bit on the forehead as well. I also wanted to do a little nose contour, so I just kind of squeezed my brush in and used the same brush. It's kind of like a little technique that I use if I don't really want to grab another brush. So here you can see nose contour done, and I'm almost done with my contour bronzing thingy. Now I'm just gonna use the sponge. There is no powder on it now, like I didn't add any powder, but I am just going to carve out the cheekbones with whatever is left on the sponge, and also like the sides of the nose, because that way it looks pretty snatched. So I wanted to make sure that the bake that we did was still there. And now I am going to use the another thing that I got. It's the, again, Milk Makeup. It's a blush. I think it was like a cream blush, so I didn't really know. It was my first time using it, but I tried pressing it into the skin, and I'm telling you, I love this blush. It's so pretty and pink. Now I'm going to use my MAC fixing spray, and I am just going to dab. There's nothing on my sponge, but I'm just dabbing it so that everything settles into the skin. Now I am using my Benefit Gimme Brow, and I am just setting my brows in place so that they don't move at all. I love that this has a shade, like a little pigment in it. That way it kind of makes your brows fuller. And probably the last thing, no, second last thing, I'm gonna use my highlight, the Artist Couture in Summer Haze. I love this one because it has the tiniest particles, like tiniest. It's not like glitter particles, but they are so pretty. And I'm just gonna highlight my cheekbones, bridge of my nose, also the cupid's bow, and the chin. I love putting a little extra of this highlight. I mean, it can go crazy if you put too much, but I do like because it's kind of like a subtle highlighter. And here I'm kind of done. I removed my lip balm that I had on my lips, and now we are here for the best thing in this video. I got this Bobbi Brown liquid crushed liquid lipstick. Yeah, this is my first Bobbi Brown purchase. I was really excited to get it. I just got it today, and I thought, you know what, I want to use it in my video. And here I am just putting it on, and I love the formula and I love the shade. So here you guys have my completed makeup look. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And happy new year, guys. I love you all. Bye.